I'll be honest with you, I was always a bit of a magnetic ND filter snob. I've always been a clip over the top or straight to the gimbal type of guy. I swore by them and I trusted them. Magnetic filters felt like a gimmick to me, something that they'd slap on cheaper kits to make them look impressive during the unboxing video. And then the good guys over at FREEWELL sent me these 3 full filter kits for the DJI Neo 2. So yeah, I might owe magnetic filters an apology. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Drone and Lens, where we make drone footage look cinematic and occasionally humble ourselves in front of the camera to bring you the truth. Today we're going deep on ND filters, specifically these FREEWELL magnetic kits designed for the DJI Neo 2. 3 full kits, real world testing, side-by-side footage comparisons, and I'm going to tell you exactly what filter to use and when to use it, and whether these things are actually worth adding to your kit bag. Because spoiler alert, if you're flying the Neo 2 and you're not using ND filters, well then you're leaving a lot of cinematic quality on the table. So let's get right into it. Right out of the box, first impressions matter, and these cases immediately feel premium. They're not flimsy plastic, they're solid, protective, and actually satisfying to open. But what actually stopped me in my tracks was this, that magnetic mounting system. Snap on, done. No threading, no overhooking, nothing. And it's actually quite handy in cold weather when your fingers aren't just working properly. There's no dropping tiny filters in the field at golden hour, not that I've done that multiple times. And on a small drone like the Neo 2, conditions can change fast, even mid-flight. So suddenly you're flying into shade or the sun breaks through the clouds and you need to swap these out quick. This system actually lets you do that. Now, I was never a big fan of these magnetic ND filters because I always thought the adhesive that glues the magnet to the lens wasn't strong enough. But surprisingly, this one is. I can tell you right now, the magnetic pull on this filter set is a lot stronger than any other magnetic filter set I've ever used. I'm actually hyped to see where these go. Also, they're incredibly lightweight too, which genuinely matters on the Neo 2, so you get no gimbal strain, no weird balance drift. They just sit there and they do the job they're supposed to. So, ND filters, what do they actually do? Okay, let's quickly cover the fundamentals, because if you're new to ND filters, well then this section is going to change how you think about your drone footage forever. There's no other way of saying this, but just think of your ND filters like a pair of shades or sunglasses for your camera lens. They reduce the amount of light that hits your sensor, but that's not actually the point. The point is what it does to your shutter speed. When you put an ND filter on, you can actually slow your shutter speed down. And when you slow your shutter speed down on a moving object, you get motion blur. Natural, organic, cinematic motion blur. Without ND filters, drone footage at standard shutter speed looks like this. It's sharp, clinical, jittery, and honestly, it's kind of ugly. But with a set of ND filters, suddenly it moves, it breathes, and it feels like a film. That one tiny change controlling your shutter speed is genuinely the single biggest upgrade you can ever make to your Neo 2 footage. Not a new drone, not a new editing preset, just this. Let's talk about the 3 filter kits, and kicking us off is the standard day filters. The first kit is your bread and butter, the standard day 3-pack. This is your everyday flyers, the ones that should probably live permanently in your kit bag. We've got an ND8, perfect for overcast days, light cloud cover, and that soft diffused light. We have an ND16 for your standard sunny day filter, clear sky or decent light. This is probably going to be your most used filter. And the ND32 for when the sun is absolutely hammering it down. When it's harsh midday light, you're doing high altitude shooting or even bright reflective surfaces. Now look at this side by side. This is the same flight, same location, and the same zone, but the difference is motion blur. Even when flying forward or pulling an orbit around an object, this is immediately visible. This isn't subtle, and this isn't pixel peeping. This is the difference between footage you'd upload and footage you'd probably had. Now, kit number 2 is where things get really interesting. These are the ND PL hybrids, meaning they combine neutral density filters with a built-in polarizer. So what does this actually mean in practice? Well, we're going to get less glare bouncing off water, we're going to get less harsh reflections on cars and glass buildings, and generally we're going to get deeper sky colours. So if you do any kind of travel content, landscape work or real estate filming near glass or water, well then these are not options, these are weapons. So onto kit 3, and this is the everyday creative filters. We've got a UV filter. Think of this as a lens protector. It's good optical glass, keeps the dust and moisture out of your sensor. And honestly, it's worth having on whenever you're unsure about your conditions. A CPL filter, which is your standalone circular polarizer. This is more control over your reflections than the hybrid ND. So landscape shooters are going to love this. And then there's the mist filter. What the mist filter does is soften highlights and give the light sources, especially during the golden hour, this dreamy glowing bloom effect. It's that kind of look you'd usually spend an hour trying to recreate in post, and you'll get it right here on your drone. For them storytelling shots, for travel montages or anything you want to feel warm and emotional, this filter does something genuinely beautiful. So the magnetic system, real world testing. Right, let's address the one thing that I was most skeptical about. Does the magnetic system actually hold in real flight conditions? So I know that these magnets are actually stronger than the last filters I was trying. So I'm going to test these in decent crosswinds. I flew these fast, I changed direction aggressively, I did the kind of flying where filters have no business staying on. And they actually stayed on every single time. I was looping, spinning, even through acrobatic skills, these stayed on. There was no vibration, just clean, stable shots. On the swap, it was genuinely less than 3 seconds. Old filter off, new filter on, and back in the air. When golden hour only gives you 8 minutes of that perfect light, this is where these actually matter. Okay, honest thoughts, because this is Drone and Lens and we don't do paid for praise. So what I genuinely love is the footage upgrade is immediate and it's pretty significant. The magnetic system is fast, secure, and it's built for real-time shooting. They're lightweight and the Neo 2 gimbal doesn't even notice them. Now, the optical quality is solid, so there's no weird color casts, no softness. These 3 kits cover basically every condition you will ever shoot in. So what you need to know going in. If you're brand new to manual exposure, there's a learning curve around pairing the right ND filter for your shutter speed. But honestly, that's exposure fundamentals and not a flaw with these filters. The CPL works and requires a bit of understanding to get the most out of it. It's also extra gear to carry and it's lightweight and totally worth it. So the FREEWELL ND filter kits for the DJI Neo 2, are they worth it? Here's where I'll land the plane. If you bought the Neo 2 because you want to create genuinely beautiful cinematic, professional looking footage, well then ND filters aren't an accessory, they're part of the camera. They're how you unlock what this drone is actually capable of. These FREEWELL kits cover every situation I could throw at them. Standard day shooting, harsh midday sun or polarized shooting near water, or maybe that creative golden hour work, it's all there. And the magnetic system, the thing that I was most skeptical about coming into this, it's actually won me over completely. I came into this review as a bias and I'm kind of leaving it as a convert. So if you want to pick these up, I'll leave links to all 3 of these kits in the description, and I'll break down which kit to start with depending on how and where you shoot. So if this video helps you out, then a subscribe means a lot. We post new drone and filmmaking content every week, and I promise we keep it real. So drop a comment below. Are you already shooting with ND filters, or is this the video that finally converted you? I read every single message and I try and get back to everybody. And if you're newer to the Neo 2, well then I've got a full cinematic setting guide and I'll leave that link in the description. It pairs perfectly with everything we've talked about today. And if you feel like you got any type of value, can you please hit that like button and smash subscribe, as it really helps my channel get out there to a lot more drone pilots. I'm Adam from Drone and Lens. You guys have been absolutely colourful and I hope to connect with you in the next video.